Hello and welcome to Loud and Clear, a podcast dedicated to amplifying the voices of women in music. I am your host, Olivia Adams, and today we are taking a break from our music history series on the podcast in order to do our second annual holiday giving guide. Around the holidays, so many of us buy gifts for friends, loved ones, teachers, caregivers, and whether or not you celebrate Christmas, we do see gift guides everywhere. Now, here is why you shouldn't skip this podcast on gifts and giving if you're like, I've seen all of the guides, and it is because I am giving alternative gift ideas to the typical stuff-based gifts. There are a few things, but I'm talking a lot of experiences, things that you can make, things that you can do for free, thoughtful gift giving for the musicians in your life. So we're talking career musicians, we're talking music teachers, we're talking kids who are learning music. And I'm also sharing about the most thoughtful gift that I ever received from a student. Listen in. Now, I don't believe that gift giving needs to always mean a physical gift. I don't think that gifting needs to cost you lots of money or that you need to find the perfect gift for everyone. I also think that sometimes we are overthinking our gift giving. And so one thing that I like to do this time of year to sort of get me in the mindset when I'm deciding on and planning out what I'd like to give to people, and that is I listen to Kendra Adachi at The Lazy Genius. I listen to her podcast on Christmas gifts, and she gives you these practical, helpful, healthy steps in order to buy gifts and prepare to buy gifts for people. I tend to be more of a practical gift giver or an experiential gift giver. That's just what I like to give. It's also what I like to receive. I like things I'll use. I don't like extra stuff. We have a small apartment, and so I am married to a partner that very much does not like frivolous things. Like, the more practical and economical, the better. So oftentimes I will ask for things that are on my studio business wish list, and my husband will do the same. So one year I really wanted a page turner for my iPad for performing, and so that went on my wish list, and I was thrilled to receive it. Last year, my husband got me a really good video camera, and he got me stuff that I could use to record, and some stuff to use to record this very podcast, and I was just so thrilled with it. 2 years ago, Rebekah Maxner, a former Loud and Clear guest and pedagogue and composer, published a blog post called Piano Studio Business Claims. Things that spark joy can be claimed at tax time. So she writes, not sure what to write on your Christmas wish list? If you're like me, you may already have mostly everything you want, but as a piano teacher, you might be able to think of many things you still want for your studio. Ask for very specific things that you need or want for your studio. Keep the requests and spending within your household. If your partner buys something for your studio, that's the same as purchasing it for your business, for yourself. If you have a studio business credit card, ask the purchaser to use it to pay for such purchases. Save the receipt and mark it studio to make sure that you remember to claim the purchase at tax time. Then the gift is saved away and wrapped for Christmas and placed under your tree or in your stocking. When you open it, it'll be exactly what you want, what you can use, and can spark joy in your studio. At tax time, claim the expenses as a tax write-off, which lowers the income tax you'll owe. So she also gives this caveat. How does this work ethically? Because I know that there were a lot of comments on this post. So she says, when my students pay me, I deposit tuition into my personal bank account. When my husband buys me something from my piano studio wish list, we make purchases on my studio MasterCard, but pay that off with money from our personal account, with money which I've earned teaching piano lessons. So we call it a gift between us, but really the money comes from my business. This wouldn't work with gifts outside our personal financial setup. So it obviously does not work with if a friend is buying you a gift and you use it in your studio. You can't claim that as a tax write-off, obviously. But it works for gifts within your home if you have like a studio-specific account. I thought this was a brilliant idea. I know that it might not be everyone's cup of tea or preferred way of doing things, but I can agree with Rebekah that there are so many things that I would love for my teaching studio. Often that's what ends up going on my Christmas wish list. Now, regardless of whether or not you decide to claim gifts as the tax break, these are a few of my favorite things that I think make excellent gifts for your studio, should you like to ask for them for Christmas. So the first category we're going to talk about is subscriptions. So ask for a subscription or gift one to a teacher in your life. I love teaching subscriptions because they're services that gift all year. It's like you get a surprise every month, and typically they are consumable or usable products. So some of my favorites tend to be digital subscriptions. That's just what I prefer. A MaxMusic subscription. So this is Rebekah Maxner's composition subscription. I just renewed mine for 2024. It was my gift to myself in 2023, and I renewed it for this upcoming year because she has an amazing sale on. Rebekah Maxner emails a studio licensed brand new composition every month, and I love to teach them. I teach them to my primary and elementary piano students. Oftentimes they come with a duet part, they always come with a video, and they come with lifetime studio license access. This is a huge win for any music teachers, especially come festival season, recital season, etc. It also helps to keep the cost lower for your students so that they don't have to buy quite as much music. I teach these pieces every month. My students love them. I cannot recommend this subscription enough. And right now she has an amazing deal. This is not a sponsored ad. It's just a great deal. If you sign up now, you can receive the MaxMusic subscription for $1 a month in 2024. I believe she said that's 90% off. So you better believe that I signed up super fast for this deal. $1 a month for 12 new pieces. You can't get better than that. And the other thing is that the digital subscription makes it super easy to buy for any music teacher, like anywhere in the world. This works everywhere. And so that's something that I highly recommend. If you know a music teacher, I cannot recommend enough the subscription to the Female Composer Club. This is run by my colleague Jenny Boster, and it is good for any music teacher, whether you teach classroom music, band, private studio, choir. It's an amazing music history teaching resource. For $5 a month, you get studio access to a biographical outline, a composer worksheet where students can answer questions, hello built-in lesson plan, thank you very much, a life story coloring page that has fun facts about the composer portrait coloring page, a quote page, composer of the month cards, a curated playlist of their music through YouTube or Apple Music, and recommended pieces. There is so much value for such a small amount. And you can sign up for just 1 month or gift a month to your music teacher colleague, or you can gift an annual subscription. It's really not that expensive. And it is something that I think that your music teacher colleagues will definitely use. Okay, for the entrepreneurial musician, I recommend Steve and Ashley Danu's resources over at Musician & Co. I love their workbooks, their templates. They even have updated courses on being a musicpreneur. We've had Ashley on the show, and I cannot recommend her resources enough. They're so helpful for the musician that is also a business owner. And so if you have a career musician in your life, or you run a studio, or you would like some business improvement gifts this holiday season, I would either gift to yourself or ask for a Musician & Company course or subscription or one of their template packages. Speaking of which, over on Ashley's Instagram, she has an excellent post and also blog post about gifts for musicians. And I thought it was brilliant. So I'll have that linked in the show notes for you. Okay, so the last subscription, and this one's kind of a fun one. It's less resource-based and it's still just as practical. And it is a tea subscription at the Dollar Tea Club. I don't know about other music teachers, but I don't ever start teaching for the day without a mug of coffee or tea in my hands. My husband and I gifted this to my mother-in-law this past year for her birthday, and I always love getting the texts letting us know what teas were received that month. You can cancel it at any time, and for $1 a month, you can gift 3 new blends of tea. They're seasonal, so in the summer, you might get several that make great iced teas, and in the winter, you get more wintry and spiced blends, and I think this makes a great gift for a music teacher or just any tea lover in general. It's a nice, practical, useful gift. Now, you can upgrade the subscription to include extra items or special things or higher quality teas or what have you. We've gifted the deluxe versions, but even just the Dollar Tea Club, I think what a brilliant idea. You get 3 cups of tea, right? So you've got 3 different tea blends. You can use them up throughout the month, and then you get a new one in the mail the next month. So I think that makes a really great teacher gift. So speaking of teacher gifts, turning to some non-subscription items that still make excellent music teacher gifts. Now, of course, teachers love gift cards. If I get an Amazon or a Long McQuaid gift card, I always use them to buy items for my studio. And I know that coffee gift cards get put to excellent use around here, but these are a few alternatives to gift cards or chocolates or your typical things. So this is something that's on my list that I think is a great gift, and that is a mug warmer to keep your drink warm. I don't know about the other teachers out there, but oftentimes when I'm teaching my beginner students, I'm staying so engaged with them that I don't even take a sip of my coffee or tea. And sometimes it's cold by the time I get around to drinking it. Usually I get to sip my beverage while I'm teaching my teenage students or my older students, but not my beginners. So if you teach a class schedule that is back to back, you often don't have time to heat up your coffee or tea in between. And over the years, mugs are probably the thing that I've been gifted the most. I love fun looking mugs, but oftentimes you're gifted so many that cupboards are overflowing. So a mug warmer makes a nice alternative. It's just like a little coaster. You stick your coffee or your tea on top of it, and it keeps it warm for you. One of my favorite items that I have is my teacher tote from Oasis Boutique. I have known Christine, the owner of Oasis Boutique, for over a decade, and it has been so cool to watch her business grow from making handmade baby bibs to having her products featured on national television, opening her own store, and also her shirts being in subscription Jillian Harris Jilly boxes. So one of my favorite things in her store right now is an excellent tote bag that says teacher in Cree with beautiful book art on the front. She designs all of the products herself. They're amazing quality. This is one of the things that I have gifted several times over to my teacher colleagues. The tote bag is great quality. You can order it at Oasis Boutique, and I will have that linked in the notes. Another thing that I think makes an excellent gift from Christine's collection is a treaty print. It's a map of Canada with all the treaties named in different areas. This is an excellent print to gift to any teacher in Canada. I'm not sure if there's something similar in the US. I would encourage you to check that out. And I think it's just a really important reminder of the history of the land that we live on, that we work. Last year, when we did our holiday gift guide, I suggested a printed and framed concert poster of an event that was really special to the person that you're gifting it to. So another really lovely and completely inexpensive gift that's similar to that is take a picture of the studio at the studio recital or the band or choir concert or whatever it is. And perhaps you could use one from the spring if you maybe don't have a holiday recital in your studio, and pop that in a frame from the thrift store and gift it to your child's music teacher. I am the teacher that always forgets to take pictures at a recital or even to give someone my phone to take a picture. So I don't have those special pictures from recitals. And often I'm like messaging parents, be like, please send me a picture from the recital. And for me as a piano teacher, those are essentially my class photos, right? My studio recital pictures, that's my class. So I've treasured the studio photos from my own piano teacher, and often I would just swap it out each new year. And I think that they make a perfect teacher gift. I am somebody that has like a corkboard in my studio, and I have pictures that I love that I put up on that corkboard. And I think that a class photo, a studio photo in a lovely little frame makes an amazing gift for a teacher. Another thing that I don't want to forget that is really meaningful is a donation in somebody's name to perhaps a musical charity that they really love or they support. There are several organizations that I support that give the gift of music lessons, like the Lotus Center for Special Music Education, which provides music lessons in camps to kids who are neurodiverse and have exceptionalities, as well as Heart of the City Piano, which provides free music lessons for kids who cannot afford it. There's an organization in Saskatchewan that I love called Creative Kids, and it provides bursaries for arts lessons, so dance, theater, music, etc. Over the last 3 years, my mother-in-law, as part of our stocking, makes a donation in each of our names and prints out a card, and she makes it to an organization that she knows we care about. And I think that that takes an incredible amount of thought and intentionality, and it's something that always sticks with me. And I think that this season, we can often get caught up in the idea of consuming and buying something that's physical and tangible, but I think it's really important that we are giving back. So why not make a donation to the symphony in a friend's name? Or why not give the gift of music lessons to kids that cannot afford it in the name of your music teacher? I think that that is a really special and meaningful gift. Okay, so I promised you a story about one of the most memorable gifts that I ever received from a student. So this story really emphasizes that gift giving is about the thought. It's about the intentionality. It's not about the amount or the price. And so two of the most memorable gifts, I want to say I have been given some really lovely gifts over the years, but these are two that really just stand out in my memory. The first one was from my student who was celiac. I am also a celiac, so I can't have gluten. And as you might know, like gluten-free baking is hard to get right. Most often, I can't have any of the treats that my students give to me, which coincidentally makes my husband very happy because he gets to eat them himself. Anyways, so this student was about 10 at the time, and she was getting quite good at baking. Well, she brought me a slice of the most delicious gluten-free banana cake that I have ever had. She put it in a cleaned out yogurt container and brought it to me. And it was so precious and thoughtful. And she was so excited. And she was like, I baked this just for you. And it made my heart sing. And it's a gift that I remember because it was so special. It was so thoughtful from this specific student. And it was a lovely gift. Okay, so another and probably the most memorable gift that I've been given from a student was this past year. This student of mine is quite young, but her parents told her that she could pick out something for me as a gift when they were at the store. Well, this student happens to love mangoes. And so she decided that was what she was going to get me. So her mom helped her pick out the most ripe mangoes. And when I tell you that this little girl was so proud, bounding into her lesson, jumping up the steps with her hands behind her back, she said, I have a present for you. And she pulls it out behind her back, and there was a bag of mangoes. She was so proud. She was so excited to give them to me because they're her favorite fruit, and she wanted to share them with her teacher. Let me tell you, I enjoyed those mangoes. So believe me when I tell you that it is about the thought. I don't ever expect gifts from my students. I know that some families really want to do teacher gifts, and I know that some people are really stretched this time of year and don't do that. But I would encourage you, if you are somebody that likes to give gifts to your child's music teacher, I would encourage you to do something that's practical and usable, or it's personal and thoughtful, like a studio picture or baking. All right, a quick break to let you know that you can partner with the Saskatoon Symphony Orchestra this season. You can partner with the work that they're doing to bring live music to the community through concerts, through concert chats, and bringing music to schools and community organizations. Give the gift of music this holiday season by heading over to saskatoonsymphony.org/donate. If you donate this season, your gift will go twice as far through the generous matching donation of the Frank and Ellen Remy Foundation. Head over to saskatoonsymphony.org/donate. All right, now onto a new category for the students. So I don't always do gifts for my students this time of year, often because there are so many of them. But in the past, I've done like little chocolates and cards or just something to say that I'm thinking about them. This year, however, my private studio, I've kept it smaller because of the work that I have going on in other places. So I decided to do something a little bit nicer for students, and I bought them custom ornaments from Music Escapades Shoppe. I took advantage of the October pre-order, which was a 30% discount, and I could not be happier with the final product. The ornaments are so adorable. They're these wooden cutouts of pianos, and they have like the right amount of keys on the piano, which I thought was really awesome. And on the pedal board, I had them engraved with their name. They're so beautiful. I literally cannot wait to give the ornaments to the kids. One year I did music note cookies for my students, and I also saw on Etsy that you can get a music note cookie cutter for $2 a piece, so very economical. So I'm gonna have that Etsy shop linked in the show notes, and that I think would make a lovely gift if you made some music note cookies and then tied a cookie cutter with a bow to the bag of music note cookies. If your student composed a piece this year, or you do a composition project in the studio, you can print a nice copy on cardstock or on good quality paper and put it in a page protector so that they have a copy. And lastly, sometimes a card and a cookie just go a long way. I like the idea of having a piece of music that maybe they learned this year, or a favorite Christmas carol printed on cardstock, and making a card out of that piece of music and telling them how proud you are of them or what you enjoy most about their music making. I think it can go a long way. All right, gifts for the studio. So if you know a music teacher and you know that they want something specific for their studio, or here are a few ideas. So I'm always down for a music picture book. I love music picture books, as anyone who listens to this podcast knows. And so these are always a win in my books. Pardon the pun. It's a perfect opportunity for me to plug my favorite accounts. So if you follow Music Room Reads on Instagram, it's run by Mariah Holmes, Gina Vidach, and Alessandra Pita, and they give the very best music picture book recommendations. And they have so many curated lists that you'll be sure to find something that you're looking for. And so music picture books are always a good idea. And I like to order from bookoutlet.com. I've talked about them before on the show, and they have a lot of books at a pretty significant discount. So I would check them out. The next is supplies from Music Escapades. So I talked about their ornaments. I also just shared a reel on my Instagram of my order from Music Escapades. It's a phenomenal music teaching resource website. It has useful tools for classroom music teachers, private music teachers, band teachers, or even just the music lover in your life. My favorite are their rhythm boards. They have these like wooden boards where kids can like put in the rhythms, and it's really, really great for kids who are neurodivergent, and it shows like the spatial amount of that rhythm, and it fits like a puzzle into the rhythm board. So I think that that is an excellent gift. They have awesome eyeglass stickers. I use these with my students, and I'll like put the little eyeglasses on spots that they need to look at. And also they have really cute piano washi tape and staff line washi tape. As a side note, I think cool stickers are always a great gift for teachers. I have these die cut waterproof ones that you can stick on water bottles and laptops that come in a pack of 50, and I call them my wow stickers. So if you blew me away in your lesson, or maybe you finished a book, then you get a wow sticker. The ones that I have come in a pack of 50, and they were all piano themed. There was 50 different kinds of pianos, and I thought it was really cool. Although last week, one of my students told me that they were, quote, basic. So maybe the stickers are not as cool as I think they are, but my other students seem to enjoy them. For myself, I love office supplies that I use up all the time. So cue cards or recipe cards that look cute, sticky notes and sticky tabs for music, heatless laminating sheets, good pens. My favorite are Le Pen highlighters, or I like mid-lighters. They're not quite as harsh and they're more of muted colors. Staff paper or pencils, because you guys, I lose pencils and pens like nobody's business. So I think that that makes like a great stocking stuffer idea. If you want to do like a music teacher themed or supply themed stocking, you could do like an Amazon gift card or a Long and McQuaid gift card, a favorite piece of music, and then maybe some office supplies that they need. Another thing that I don't know you could count as office supplies, but they certainly might make your musician's day, are plants, or if you're me, fake plants. They certainly brighten up an office space. I love having plants around the office, even if I do kill them accidentally. Although I was listening to a podcast recently and was told that fake plants still add the same effect as real plants do, which is good news for me, because this spring I swapped out my real plants that died for a very realistic fake succulent garden in my office, and it makes me very happy. I mean, according to studies, they say that indoor plants can improve focus, decrease depressive moods, and lessen symptoms of anxiety. So some fun facts there. And I think that those make really great additions to the studio. All right, so here are some gifts for the working musician in your life. So more so thinking about those that gig, that play in bands and do lots of gigs this time of year. Musicians are incredibly busy in December. December and spring tend to be the peak seasons for being a musician. My husband and I have nearly 30 events between the two of us where we are expected to be performing music somewhere, whether that is a recital, conducting, accompanying, or singing in a choir concert. We do it all. Our students' recitals, or one of the many additional services that happen at churches this time of year. Some of the most thoughtful gifts that make me feel seen are gifts like a meal or a gift card for a restaurant or takeout, which absolutely get used this time of year. A pot of soup, a takeout gift card, it always goes a long way. Last year, somebody gave us a pizza gift card, and it was such a nice surprise to receive as a Christmas gift. Now, I would suggest doing this before Christmas as just a thoughtful gift to the working musician in your life, because they're often running around playing gigs and late at night and end up eating at midnight or eating snacks throughout the day in between gigs. And so I think that that makes a really nice gift for the working musician in your life. Another gift is a favorite piece of music. One of my dear friends always gifts me a signed score by a composer, usually if she's at a workshop sometime during the year, and she picks up a piece of sheet music, and if that composer is there, she'll get them to sign it. And it always makes such a meaningful gift, and I enjoy it so much. And some of my favorite books and sheet music in my collection are actually gifted from that friend. And so I think that a thoughtful piece of music always goes a long way. Another one for the working musician in your life is a portable charger. Let me tell you, these come in so handy. Maybe you're just charging it in your car in between gigs. Having a portable phone charger is such a lifesaver. I mean, for anyone, but especially this time of year for working musicians, I think that that is a great gift. Another one is a Moleskin music journal. So like a really nice quality journal with music staff lines and space to write lyrics or ideas and things like that. I think that that makes a really great quality gift, and it's something that's thoughtful. Bonus points for if it's something that is small and can be like a bullet journal. I think that those make great gifts. Another one is loop earplugs. I was looking into them because I struggle with a bit of tinnitus. So for those that work in loud environments at a consistent basis, so gigging musicians, this would be an excellent gift to protect their hearing. They are small and inconspicuous earplugs with a variety of settings. So there are settings for sleep, for focus, for travel, for those with noise sensitivity. They also have ones for kids that help to reduce the stimulus of social settings. And so I think that these are excellent investments for musicians. Lastly, I think that if there is a busy working musician in your life, a gift certificate to a spa for a massage or some pampering would probably go a long way and be really appreciated. Gigging musicians are often carrying around a lot of equipment. They're likely to feel a lot of muscle tension and soreness after all of the events are over. And I think that a massage makes an excellent gift. It's usable, it's practical, and it's a little bit frivolous all in one. And it doesn't add to any extra clutter in the home. And speaking of giving, the holiday season is just around the corner. And how do I know that? Well, besides the snow and the lights around Ottawa, my calendar is filled with music events. I want to encourage you that wherever you can, buy from a small or a local business. I am a small business, and every time someone makes a purchase from my website, I do a legitimate happy dance. If you have a musician in your life, head over to my store at oamusicstudios.ca and click on shop at the top of the page, and it will take you to some of the what I think are pretty great resources that I've created. Of course, my book Loud and Clear is available, and if you don't have it, it makes an excellent addition to any teaching studio, especially as you prepare for the upcoming festival season. This year, I added some notebooks to my online shop. The notebooks are a journal-size, high-quality spiral-bound notebook with a cover that reads, "Women in Music are Loud and Clear." I am so happy with how these turned out. I think they make great gifts to the musician in your life. I use mine as a conference notebook because it fits easily into my purse. I also think they make great academic notebooks, a journal, or a music lesson dictation book. They are slim enough to fit into any stocking. They really make the perfect gift. This year, I also added posters. I have two styles. I Belong in Music and Women in Music Are Loud and Clear. Both of these make excellent decorative additions to a musical space or bedroom. I also wanted to make sure that they could fit in a binder cover, so they measure 8.5 by 11. They can easily decorate your teaching, conducting, or school binder. They make the perfect stocking stuffer. Order yours today at oamusicstudios.ca/shop. All right, our last category is for the music lover. So I think I already mentioned this before, but my favorite thing to do is gift experiences. And to me, that this time of year, that means concert tickets. It's literally one of my favorite things to give. Last year, my husband and I gifted concert tickets to our entire family. We looked up shows in each of their areas, and for some of them, we just asked if there was a concert that they were looking to go to, and we bought them 2 tickets to a concert. And if the concert wasn't too expensive, we gifted a little bit of cash to go out for drinks or a dessert after the show. It is so fun because the experience is what makes that gift memorable. So this year, I'm gifting concert tickets to one of my loved ones, and I literally cannot wait to see their reaction. It's my favorite. I think it creates lasting, memorable experiences. It supports the arts, and you don't have to store anything but the memories. oftentimes this time of year, there are free or by donation concerts. And so if money is a little bit tight, maybe you say, I want to take you to this concert that's maybe admission by donation. There are so many of those this year. And you pick up that person, you take them to the concert, and you go out for hot chocolate after. It makes for a really inexpensive, memorable experience that does not have to break the bank and still shows that person that you are thinking of them. You could gift a favorite album, digital or physical. I love receiving records. My brother has slowly been building my record collection over the years, and I always love knowing what artist I'm going to learn about this year through the albums that he gifts me. So if you like to gift records or a digital album, I've been gifted several digital albums and I really appreciate them. So that's always another great gift. For the reader in your life, some of my favorite books on artistry and music making and teaching are the following. So Teaching to Transgress and Teaching Community, A Pedagogy of Hope by Bell Hooks are probably my top teaching books. And so if there is a teacher in your life, those make excellent gifts. One on artistic practice is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. It's all about creativity and the way that we creatively think and work as artists. And I read that this year and I loved it. Another one I read this year was The Perfect Wrong Note by William Wesney. And that was maybe one of my favorite teaching books that I read for the first time this year. And I use a lot of the practical advice in that and throughout my teaching and in my own music practice. So The Perfect Wrong Note. If you're looking for a fiction book, The Ensemble by Asia Gabel is an excellent read. It's been a few years since I've read it, so I hope it still holds up. But it was one of my favorite music fiction books because it was written by a musician and they knew all the intricacies of being a musician. And it was really cool to hear them talk about being inside of a musician's head and talking through a concert experience and all of that. So I think that if you like a good fiction read, then The Ensemble by Asia Gabel makes a really excellent read. Lastly, for the music lover in your life, why not gift them a music lesson on their instrument of choice? Or maybe they've been wanting to pick up a new instrument, join a community choir or a ukulele ensemble. Why not give the cost of a music lesson or two this holiday season? I always get so thrilled when people get gifted lessons for Christmas. I've had students try 2 lessons as a gift and sign up for lessons. I've had others that just wanted a little taste. I get asked for recommendations from parents in my studio for teacher recommendations for their kids that maybe wants to try a new instrument. And it always makes me so happy. I think it's a memorable experience and the opportunity to try something new risk-free. So if you want to gift a music lesson this year, you can click on the link in my show notes. And I have designed some templates that you can print out and fill in with your chosen amount and how many lessons and what instrument it is. And I think that makes for a really thoughtful gift this season. Okay, well, I think that is going to do it for this week. Don't forget that the links to everything in the show notes are down below. Please do not forget to subscribe and leave a review. That is a free gift that you can give to me this year. It's something that takes about 15 seconds and makes a huge difference for boosting this podcast in the algorithm and getting it in front of new audiences so that we can continue to make this show for you. Thank you so much for listening in. I'm Olivia Adams. This is Loud and Clear, and you can find me at OA Music Studios in all the places. Have a great week. We'll see you back here on our next episode. Bye for now.